Another case of racial bullying. Principal ignores it. Black kid says this happened. It gets ignored. Put him up full mass. Principal is now resigned after student endured racial abuse in Kansas. High school sophomore student Kirubel Solomon received a flat copper piece with the N-word engraved on it. Who did it come from? It came from white students in his metal and jewelry making class. This happened May 4th, okay? Solomon told the Kansas City Star he reported the incident to the principal. Put him up, there he is. Dr. Dale Longenecker, N-E-C-K-E-R. And nothing was done according to Mr. Solomon, the student, until he filled out paperwork with the vice principal. The vice principal suspended all 3 white students, okay? Because the principal, according to the young Solomon, did nothing. Solomon said he felt the suspension was weak. Here's the quote. I felt like it was weak, Solomon told the Star, because the school punishes harder for lesser offenses, in my opinion, like vaping. They take vaping more seriously than racism, in my opinion. No, sir, that's a fact, Solomon. He also stated that he reported other incidents to the principal and nothing was done. Solomon's sophomore classmate, Jamia Haynes, told the newspaper she also experienced racism. No action was taken. She reportedly was called a racial slur by a white student, but a teacher did not believe her after she reported the incident. Let me say this to you, Ms. Haynes. Your teacher probably did believe you, just did not care. Now here's the problem. I need all teachers to understand this. Racism against students is bullying. It's bullying. We launched this massive anti-bullying campaign. And all of a sudden, white students who were bullied became the face of that campaign because there was an intentional effort to leave out the element of racial bullying as it related to the campaign against it. How can you do that? You can't. Racial bullying is a permeation of bullying itself. And we have seen that it can be the most dangerous in context of peer groups inside of schools. Racism is bullying. Racism is bullying. When they handed the young Solomon this piece of copper that they actually worked on inside of a class that he was taking with them, when they handed him this, that was bullying. We have seen that kind of bullying lead to suicides. That's why we take it seriously here at Indisputable. The school superintendent, okay, his name is Brent Yeager, informed parents that the principal, in fact, did resign on Monday. Now I'm telling you, this means that they found out a lot more, okay? That's why this principal resigned. Resignation was among a list of things the students and activists demanded from the district. They want the district to investigate its own practices for addressing racism, institute new disciplinary measures against racial discrimination and hate speech that have clear consequence, and begin a process of educating people on the impact of their racist behavior. Outside of the resignation, no further steps to address the students nor their demands have been announced. Put up the picture of the young hero again, Mr. Solomon. Mr. Solomon, you are a leader in this nation now. Because you decided to stand up and do the right thing, not only has transparency happened, but exposure. The wrong person is now exposed. He was the wrong person for the job. I am glad the vice principal stood up and did what was necessary to do. But without your leadership, dear sir, none of this happens. So remember that as you continue to journey, there will be naysayers to tell you that somehow you were wrong. Of course, they're silly. We applaud you. We applaud those who stand with you. And I applaud that entire school system of students who are making the demands known. We need transformation in this place. Any way I can support any of your students, you all hit me up. Sharon, thoughts here.
Well, thank goodness the activists also stood strong and showed up on the doorstep of that weak Superintendent Yeager, who they interrupted his lunch apparently when he released that stupid statement about, we're sorry for the challenging time. This racist Principal Longnecker resigned. It's so stupid, it's so silly.
Yeah.
And the vice principal will never become a principal, Dr. Richey. You heard it here first.
Yep, not in that district at least, right? Not in that district. But listen, there are some districts starting to change. So to that vice principal, don't think that's your only place to do the job that obviously you were called to do because you stood up against leadership in your own school. I can respect that any day of the week.